has it been? Since this world and I were swallowed by this dark vortex of delusion. Except, it didn't swallow me. It was my doing. I threw myself willingly into this maelstrom. But it's pulled me down deeper, and with more violence than I could have ever imagined. How can I escape this boundless whirlpool of delusion? Please give me an answer. Anyone, please. Save me.
Game industry. A world which exists outside of our reality, where 4 CPUs protect and rule above each nation. The nation where CPU Purple Heart rules, Planetoon. The nation where CPU Blackheart rules, Last Station. The nation where CPU Whiteheart rules, Louis. The nation where CPU Greenheart rules, Leanbox. In the past, game industry had been exposed to threats such as the deity of sin and the CPU of the ancient nation of Tari. But thanks to the efforts of the 4 CPUs, a lasting era of peace has been maintained. However, as they enter the CPU shift period, their enduring reign is approaching its end.
Taking a nap in the warmth of the Planetoon sun is the best. Although, I kind of feel like I just had a super creepy dream. Ah! What was that noise? If I didn't know any better, I'd say that sounded like something plastic slamming against the concrete. I think it came from over there. Maybe I should go take a look. And so, here we find our heroine in a spooky back alley, shrouded in darkness in the middle of the afternoon. Yeah, this isn't weird at all.
Someone, save me!
Huh? Is that a voice?
Someone, anyone, save me! Save the Zero Dimension!
Hello? Someone there? Come on, answer me! That's so weird. I could have sworn I heard it coming from around here. Wait, what's this on the ground? It almost looks like a game console? But who even makes this? It's got a white body, a swirl mark. Even a sophisticated game sommelier like myself has never seen anything like this. Well, I don't see anyone around here, so I guess I'll just deposit this at the Basilicom for safekeeping. Yeah. Hey, Nepgear, looky look! I found a super cool vintage game console.
Oh, really? Maybe we can try playing it later. Also, welcome home, Neptune. I'm glad you made it back safe and sound.
This kid is Nepgear. She may seem older, but don't be fooled. She's my little sister, the CPU candidate of the nation, Planetoon.
Neptune, where in game industry have you been? This is not the time to be goofing off. I will not forgive you today.
Ah! It's Isti! This small fairy-looking girl is Histoire, or Isti, as I like to call her. Planetoon's first CPU created her in order to keep a record of the nation's history, and right now, she acts as Planetoon's oracle. She's cute till she opens her mouth and turns into a little dictator. It's a character flaw that I'm gonna talk to the writers about soon because...
Neptune, listen to me. We're in the midst of a game industry's shift period, and this is simply not the time for brash behavior.
Ah, come on, Isty, lighten up! It's just a little old shift period. Wait, what is that again?
Even though I had explained it so thoroughly, I will explain it once again. So please, listen. The CPU shift period is the season when citizens begin searching for new CPUs to follow, instead of placing their faith in those already presiding. We're currently in the window of time when rumors about the CPUs will begin circulating, tarnishing their reputations. In fact, at this very moment, the other CPUs have been working relentlessly to prepare specialized teams to counter any allegations.
I'm totally fine. This is Planetoon we're talking about, Isty. My people love me. Besides, isn't Noir the only one who's made an actual team? Vert has that MMO tourney, and Blanc has Rookie Novelist Awards coming up soon.
Dear me, why is it that all the CPUs lack a mature and appropriate sense of danger?
Hey! Don't just lump me in with those lazy idiots, Histoire!
Oh, by the way, this girl is Noir, the CPU of Last Station, the nation next door. She's a friendless, lonely soul. Aren't you, Noir?
You shut up! I'm not lonely.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Anyway, Nep Jr., think you could fix this console? It looks like it's pretty broken.
I'm not sure if I can. It doesn't look like technology I'm familiar with. May I inspect it for a moment, Big Sis?
It cannot be helped. It appears I will be constructing a solution on my own for Planetoon's safety yet again.
Anyone, please. Save us!
Huh? Neptune! Did you hear that?
Oh, I knew I heard something earlier. Good work, Nep Jr. Where's it coming from?
This is gonna sound weird, but I think the voice came from inside this console. Oh!
Yikes! What in the what is this? Why are we getting swallowed up in our own realm?
Oh no! What should we do? I can't move! Neptune!
We're getting sucked in! Ah!
And after 8 minutes straight of plot and cutscenes, welcome to Megadimension Neptunia VIIR 2 Rebirth. Yes, I'm playing the remake version, not the original, because I just happened to get the remake version first. But yeah, but both versions are perfectly fine. If you end up getting base VIIR 2, VIIR 2 is perfectly fine. Just I prefer VIIR 2 Rebirth. There's a lot of quality of life things as we watch this opening cinematic, because the game is split into 3 acts, and each act has its own little opening cinematic, which I can talk over because it's just their flashy way of showing it off. But yeah, as you probably gathered, this is a visual novel styled game. It is also a turn-based RPG, which visual novel and turn-based JRPG together makes an interesting duology, because both are infamous for having slow starts. So, as a fair warning as we go on, because we're going to have more cutscenes in a second, so I'm going to have to stop talking again. These first 2 parts are going to be very cutscene heavy, and it will calm itself down and get more gameplay heavy as it goes on. Don't worry, there will still be more gameplay this part. We just got to get there first. But anyway, we got more cutscenes to watch.
Neptune! Neptune! Please, wake up! Neptune, please!
Oh, come on, Nep Jr. Give me 10 more minutes.
This isn't the time to be sleeping. Look around!
Ugh, you're so noisy. Wait, did Isty find out we're slacking off to fix that console? Has she finally morphed into a bloodthirsty demon? Huh? Oh, right. This is just a dream. Okay, well then. Night, Nepgear. Turn the lights off on your way out, okay?
Oh, it's not a dream, Neptune! Get up!
No, this can't be possible. I mean, we were just in our room, right? Why would we suddenly be in a place like this?
I don't know. When I came to, we were just here. What happened?
Well, I don't really know where this is, but I don't think it can be helped. The city's collapsed, there are weird cracks in the sky, but you know, this is totally a normal occurrence in games.
Neptune, even if it happens often in games, this should not be happening here, in reality.
Yeah, but let's not sweat the small stuff, alright? Hey, there might be some NPCs out and about. Let's go for a walk. I'm sure that'll be 10 times better than moping around in a place like this.
Yeah, you're right. It's better than just waiting around for an event to appear.
That's the spirit. Let's go.
And now we're actually in the game world as we get a tutorial. Teach me history I usually skip over, I'll just teach you how it works. Have you ever played a Persona game since Persona 3? That's kinda how it works. There is a couple differences. The main one being, if you just run headfirst into an enemy without much thought, it doesn't make much of a difference. If you swing at them, you get advantage. If you're either mid-swing, you miss, and then they hit you, or they hit you from behind, they will get the advantage. But that first one is the bit that catches everyone out if you're used to Persona. Is if you're caught mid-swing, then you lose the advantage. The menu in Neptunia Victory 2, or the Neptunia 4 for the sake of convenience, the menu in this game is a bit cumbersome to adjust to, because it's very, like, kind of just JRPG heavy. Look, they've got all the stats and stuff and everything like that, and they've tried to compress as much as they could. But it's just not as neat as it was in Victory 1 or Nep 3. Like, Nep 3, I think, had the perfect balance of how to handle the menu, whilst this one, it does get a bit cumbersome. So if you ever see me, like, fucking around the menus, because this is a turn-based JRPG, so yes, it's in post. But if you ever see me fucking around with the menus, it's probably because I'm trying to get my bearings. These event markers tell you when something new story-wise is going to kick on.
No one's...
Oh, right, this is a voice cutscene.
That's pretty weird. You'd think there'd at least be a cat, a hologram, or something. Hey! Anyone here?
There's something really eerie about this place, Neptune. Those cracks running through the streets and buildings don't seem like regular cracks.
You're right. They're all green and pretty. I feel like if I stared at them long enough, they'd suck me right in.
There are similar cracks in the sky, too. It's almost as if the fabric of space and time itself has cracks in it. And these buildings, they feel familiar. Kind of like some of the ones we have back in Planetoon. No, it couldn't be.
Would Planetoon look like this if we were to enter an apocalypse?
Don't say things like that! That's bad! When I look more closely, I don't recognize any of these areas. So I don't think it's Planetoon.
Doi! Come on, little Nep. That city's my backyard. I'd recognize it if I was walking around it blindfolded. Well, it does us no good to keep brooding here. Forward march!
Where does her confidence come from at times like this, I wonder?
My confidence, you ask? It's obviously because I'm the main character. No matter what happens, we'll make it through with my pro-tag rule set.
I hope so.
Eek! Ahem. That was just kinda loud is all. It's just a run-of-the-mill first battle baddie. See, Nep Jr.? My pro-tag rule set has found local person number 1.
No, Neptune! No matter how you look, I don't think we can converse with it. It's full of murderous intent.
I guess so, huh? And here I thought we'd finally run into someone else besides us. But if the enemy is raring to go, we've no choice. Nepgear, let's transform and stomp it!
Right!
Behold my power!
Processor unit, set! Huh?
But nothing happened? Ah! Hey, that's dangerous! Oh, I see. You don't know it's against the rules to attack during a transformation sequence.
I don't think a monster will understand even if you tell them that.
I don't know why we can't go HDD, but we have to take care of the enemy in front of us first. Let's go for it!
Okay!
Yeah, Neptune, for some reason, is 100% aware of the fourth wall. Everyone else kind of makes the odd joke about it, but they're not aware that there's a fourth wall kind of thing. They're just making a joke to bounce off Neptune. Neptune is the only one who, without a shadow of a doubt, is 100% aware she's a video game character. Which... it affects the tone of this game quite drastically sometimes. Because when everyone else is taking something super seriously and she's just kind of like, it's fine. But this is our tutorial boss battle, and it's against a monster that was never seen before in the series, because we're in an alternate dimension if the opening didn't give that away. They're in Zero Dimension, which is an alternate dimension from the main game's dimension. The dimension that Neptune and Netgear come from is Hyper Dimension. This is teaching you the basic battle command system, which has actually changed from Victory 2 to Victory 2 Rebirth. I say changed, it's just made quicker to access and better balanced, because the original version of the game was quite brutal, like difficulty wise, whilst this one's a lot more balanced. It's still quite tough, and I'll try and avoid grinding and try and just go through it as normal level as possible, but if I need to grind at some point I will. If you slide your finger across the touchpad, you bring up the stat list of whatever enemy you're up against. The way it works is X allows you to set up your combo deck, and then you pick your skills. Your skills spending ability points. Ability points come back every turn. So if you decide to spend more, you'll have less come back next turn. As you can see, there's green marks in the stats to the left saying that's how many they're about to get. If I were to end my turn right now with Netgear, she would get another 4 and be up to 8. So when you have more skills later on, I'd then have 8 points to play with to make a bigger string of attacks. Additionally, you have SP, which is soul points, or spirit points, or special points, or this game's equivalent to magic. It never starts on full. It starts at about third of the way full per fight, and it regenerates per turn along with your ability points. So some of your skills you just can't start with, it's just how it is. And that's all we really need to know for gameplay mechanics right now, because as you can tell, it's the start of the game, they're going to tutorialize all of this. I will, however, quickly go into the different types of attacks. You might have noticed Nep had Rush, Netgear had Power or Hit. I think it was Hit, actually. But then there is another one that's Power. In previous Nep games, that determined whether you wanted to go for attacks that had higher hit counts, because your hit rate was what boosted your special points, not just a turn regeneration. Power was raw damage, and Hit was guard break. Whilst in this, Hit and Power are still the same, but Rush has a different effect, which we'll get into when it shows up. So in Power, or like the pinkish purple, is raw damage dealing, and Hit is trying to break guard. So those two are the ones you're going to be using the most. But we got more cutscenes.
We didn't even need HDD.
But why couldn't we transform? Oh!
What's up, Nep Jr.?
Neptune! It's our shares! I thought something was weird. I can't feel our shares at all.
Yeah, right. I trounced a certain Noir in a character ranking contest. That popularity is like the source of our shares, so to be missing... That's... ridiculous. It's gone. What? Why? Shares are the faith people have in CPUs. It's impossible for them to be at 0. And for us to be unable to transform in a post-apocalyptic horror world like this, we're going to be sterilized.
Please, calm down, Neptune! Also, that monster we just fought, have you ever seen anything like it before?
That super gross mutant bug thing? Nope. And I kinda wish I never had. What about you?
It was my first time too. Unfamiliar monsters in an unfamiliar land. Where the goodness are we? Can we actually get out of here alive? I've tried contacting East-War, but the end gear keeps dropping out of range, so I can't connect to the phone or the internet.
It'll be just fine. You worry too much. Just leave everything to your big sis. And let's be real here. Roaming around strange new lands, beating up monsters is way better than working at a boring desk.
Neptune, I think you only feel that way because you hate working.
The only thing I hate is not having fun. Come on, let's make the most of this, little sis.
Neptune, I don't know if I can have fun, but I'm sure we'll be fine if we're together.
There we go. You look way cuter when you smile. Let's keep moving.
Okay.
Well, this is the last and biggest chunk of talking I'm going to get this part. Trust me, it does ease up on the cutscenes as it goes on. It's just that it's the start of a turn-based RPG. If you've ever played any of these, you know exactly what I'm going on about. And this here is explaining about symbol attacks, which is basically the advantage attack. And there's also destructible pieces of the environment, but it's very obvious what's destructible and what isn't. But now we get to explore and enjoy it. For the first few areas of the game, just because, you know, then I have more room to talk, I won't be cutting out fights. But after a while, when we get to some of the later dungeons, if we fought all the enemies before, I will be skipping them. At the bottom there, we've now got access to use items, and they use PP, or pocket points. You only have so many pocket points and they do not regenerate. It's the game's hard way of stopping you from item spamming. Because in previous Nep games, there was nothing stopping you from item spamming. And you're going to get that a lot. This game is easily the most balanced Neptunia game in the series. Yeah, don't get me wrong. When we get very late into the game, I'm talking right near the end of Act 2, as I'll show a back attack here and show how much of a difference it makes in a fight. We do get some pretty god tier abilities, but that's not until way later, and you really have to fight to get them, so I think they're fine. But before this game, keep in mind I've never actually played the original release of Nep 1, nor do I plan to, but I've played the rebirth. I've played the remakes of all three of the previous games, and oh my god, is the balance interesting in those three games. The first one especially, and I get it's good it was the first time round, but the balance in that game is ridiculous. Just have Vert on your team and get her to do a special in any fight, you win. Final boss, super boss, doesn't matter. She will hit it like 20 times and each attack will do 9,999 damage, and it's just like, what the fuck? But then at the same time, like, the early parts of Nep 1 are absolutely brutal, and there's some straight up grind walls you have to get past because some of the bosses are ridiculously tough. And then the second game's piss easy because everything's really powerful, even though they nerfed all the special attacks. The third game tried to find a balance, but it still has its moments. And then this game came around, and it's just a hell of a lot more ironed out and balanced. And I don't know how much of that's on Victory 2 base and how much of that's on the Rebirth, but I really like the changes they've made to make it more balanced, because as much as I love a turn-based JRPG, it's satisfying when you've got work to overcome it. Also, if you haven't gathered already, this entire franchise is littered to the brim with references and nods to gaming culture as a whole, with Neptune being a reference to the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, and Netgear being the Game Gear. But we've got more cutscenes, and this will probably be the end of the part. So, next time on Neptunia, we'll continue our exploration of this desolate city.
Neptunia,
But until then, you guys take care now.
Maybe we can figure out where we are.
Okay. Wait for me, Neptune! This can't be.
What? What is this?
No way. Just where is this?
Aha! Look over there! I see somebody!
Oh wow, you're right! I think it's a girl. Oh no! She's surrounded by a bunch of scary monsters!
There's no way a local could fight against that many. Let's go, Nepgear.
Yeah, let's go help her!